my microphone. Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's Pam and Nova. Welcome back to Bartalk. It's Bartalk? Is that what it's called? We're gonna restart. Hey guys, it's Pam and Nova, the hosts of your favorite podcast. It's Bartalk Podcast. We're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. We're back. I have a mic. Nova also has a mic. She just doesn't have the adapter for the mic. But
yeah, my adapter is going to be here today. So when we film our next episode, I'm going to have my mic.
Yes.
And he's sitting at a table also, which is going to help with this.
I won't have a table. I'll still be in my... Anyways, we're back.
Is that a stuffed pig?
Yeah, it is. It's from IKEA.
That's so cute.
Okay. Don't call me out like that. Don't call out my adult money like that. Oh my god. Okay, so we had a bit of a break because we broke up. No, I'm kidding.
We've been so busy.
We've been real busy. Nutcracker happened. Nova was Snow Queen and a snake, and she fell hard in Flower Core. That'll be a story.
I fell so hard in Flower Core. That's gonna be the best story ever.
Yeah. And I did another show. So we've been busy. We've been out and about just dancing, but we're back with new equipment. Thank you, Christmas. And we're ready to talk about some things. So the topic of this episode, it went viral on TikTok. And not just in the dance world, I think everywhere.
I think everywhere.
Which it hasn't really gone viral before. Not in this kind of sense. But it's the UDAs. What does UDA stand for? You think I'd know this going into it?
It's Universal Dance Association or University Dance Association? Hold on. I'm gonna find out.
Universal Dance Association.
Oh, I got it.
You did get it right. But they happened this weekend. So the UDAs and the UCAs, which basically means it's college dance teams and college cheer teams that compete for, like, this is the nationals, basically. It happened over the weekend at Walt Disney World. The UDAs were first and the UCAs are kind of finishing up, I think, today and yesterday. The reason, well, there's a few reasons why it blew up the way it did. We'll get to that later. The important things to know is that the routines that have gotten a lot of attention are the University of Minnesota jazz routine and the Ohio State jazz routine. Which I love, but I also have so many thoughts on. Anyways, I watched the final award ceremony, and these two schools, these are like the top college dance teams. Like, this is like Super Bowl of dance type of thing. However, it's not like the Super Bowl because these teams have been competing in first and second place. They've held the top two spots for 8 years in a row. So, like, no one else even comes close. And the team that does come close is LSU, who did place third. And they won for hip hop, which, oh my god, their hip hop routine. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. It was really good.
Crazy. Minnesota, for their 20-year anniversary, I guess, in 2004, they competed a routine to Dream On, Aerosmith, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm cultured. They competed a routine to Dream On by Aerosmith. So it's 20 years later, they brought that song back and they recompeted a new routine.
Now, wait, I have a question about this. Didn't they choreograph this? The dancers that were in the piece, this was a self-choreographed piece, or is that a TikTok rumor?
It might be. I didn't see that, but
what I heard was that the dancers in the piece choreographed the piece. This was like a self-choreographed piece, which blew my mind even more.
That's really cool. Which makes them so evil and twisted, because this is why I think it's blowing up. First of all, not only is the routine fabulous and clean, there's a turn section, which like all the routines have a turn section. I think there's like standard things that you have to have. It's like cheer. Like, did you ever watch that Netflix show Cheer? How there were like certain elements that you had to like, have
I
in the
watched the
routine?
first episode and then I didn't finish it.
Okay. Well, anyways. So anyways, I think there's certain things because like every routine has a turn section and some kind of trick thing, whatever. But I think that also makes it easier to judge the routine if there's like certain whatever. The turn section that's blowing up and going viral. They're so sick and twisted for this. Not only are they doing like 1,000,000 turns, they're doing turns in second, like all second turns, into an aerial, landing the aerial, and continuing more a la second turns. Which, what? What? Like, that blew my mind in a way like, no way they just did that. I had to like
And
rewatch.
there wasn't a single, like, I have watched this piece and I have dissected this turn sequence over and over and over. Like, I just keep going back and rewatching it and rewatching it and rewatching it. They are completely in sync. They are dancing as a unit. There is not a single girl or guy. There's a guy in the piece.
That's the other thing. There's like 25 of them, and they're all able to do this.
It's the same.
Yeah.
However, there was only one piece I did watch. This is like going off topic, but Ohio State in their palm routine, if you look on the left-hand side, there is one girl that brutally messes up the turns. And it's like I feel so bad for her because if that was me.
Well, one of the Minnesota girls fell during semis.
That I didn't see. I didn't see that. That's so scary.
So they like aced it in finals. The one girl fell out of the aerial. But just the one, and then she picked it right back up, which is kind of like a crazy feat. But in the same semis, okay, now we're going to Ohio State. So this crazy dance routine from Minnesota. If you haven't watched it, go look it up. Go watch it. Also, back to Minnesota, the guy that comes forward does a front flip into like 18 turns to like land it, like nothing happens.
Like solo turn sequence right in the front is beautiful.
But he does a front flip into it.
He does.
Yeah. Yes. Which is crazy. Anyways, okay. So then Ohio State, the other big dance team, comes out with a piece to Frank Sinatra's My Way. And they're wearing red ties and blazers. And the choreography is great. And not only that, they have tie choreography and they have jacket choreography. And it's all girls, which I think I love whenever girls do like a man dance. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like there's something so empowering about that. And I think that's why I loved it. But not only is like Ohio State so clean, and they don't have the aerial into the second, but it's crazy. Go watch that routine. However, my point is, on TikTok, people immediately, because they kind of like dancers knew that it was between these two teams from the get-go, what am I trying to say here? Oh, they pit them against each other. So then it was like, oh, Minnesota's going to win or Ohio State's going to win. So then it was kind of this whole thing of like going back and forth between Dream On and My Way and whatnot, because we knew they were going to be the top two teams. We didn't know who was going to win. So from the first day, My Way scored first. And then they kind of held that score the whole weekend. So Ohio State did win for Jazz and Minnesota got second for Jazz. And then Ohio State got second for Palms and Minnesota got first for Palms. What did you think? Who do you think should have won?
Minnesota.
Really? Because
I think first for Jazz. I loved Ohio State's Jazz piece, but I think I was more a Minnesota fan in this circumstance.
I was Ohio State, which I hate that I was, and we'll get to that.
Here he is. His name is Matthew. Found him.
Matthew. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, My Way. I think what was so captivating about this dance is that it like told a story. Like the clapping at the end. Oh, it was when they were dancing and whatnot, and they threw their jackets off and were slamming them on the floor, and then they like did all this stuff, and then they just turned around and had their hand out and just started walking forward, and it was so still. That was the moment where I was like,
yeah.
Oh, because it was like it had all the technique and the turns and the tricks and whatnot, and it was clean and it was difficult, but then it also had like which I'm kind of thrilled that we're getting back into it. This element of like storytelling in dance. So I think I actually can't wait for like what's about to happen, which like I've noticed it. I mean, obviously it hasn't been on a viral kind of platform this big, but ooh, I don't know her name, but there was a dancer who did, I think she won like the dance awards, like teen best dancer. Oh, Cami Voorhees, that's the dancer's name. She did a piece called Don't Worry, Darling, and it was like the red dress with like the blood stain and red socks.
Oh, I saw this.
Right. And it was like it was gorgeous and so captivating to watch because it like told a story. So now these like
Yeah.
solos that are like actually like going on journeys and telling stories, it's like choreographers are now really realizing like, oh, that's a lot more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And that's also something that like whenever I choreograph something, I'm like, oh, it needs to have a full thought out story. There needs to be like a beginning, middle, and an end, which is really hard to do within like 2 minutes of a dance. So, anyways, I think that's why for me, I loved watching My Way because the the Minnesota one, when it got to like the part where they're like, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they're going like, and it's like, ah, me singing,
Yeah.
me with my mic. Sorry. Okay. Me, a singer. Okay. Anyway, and they're like going crazy, and then it like continues, but then it just kind of stops. It's almost like they hit the time limit. Do you know what I mean? In the Minnesota dance.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really like resolve.
Right. And I
That's fair.
think the reason My Way stood out is because it resolved. It came to an ending. And it, like LSU's jazz dance didn't do that either. It didn't resolve. It just finished.
I wasn't that big of a fan of LSU's jazz dance, if I'm being
Oh,
honest.
okay. Here's what I loved about LSU. You want to put something in a jazz category? Mama, that is the only one that I was like jazz. I was like, I could see how Minnesota's jazz. I don't think My Way was jazz at all.
I agree. It was very much a contemporary piece.
Which like I don't know much about the UDAs. What are we constituting as jazz? Because then I watched another one where it was like A Million Reasons by Lady Gaga, and I'm like, this is not a jazz song. This is lyrical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it's like, how do you judge a category that you titled jazz where not a, like really only one group is doing a jazz dance to? Everything else is contemporary, which is like kind of upsetting as someone who like loves jazz.
Yeah.
As someone as someone who's like done deep dives into like the foundations of jazz and how the not a single dance from the UDAs shows that. Like, I hate to break it to all the dancers watching. Alice Conturns are not jazz. They're not.
I was actually I didn't put two and two together that that was the jazz category when I first watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to like watch another video where it told me what I was watching to know that
Yeah.
it was jazz.
Yeah.
Minnesota's even.
Yeah. But then it's like, why are we still calling it the jazz category? Because it's not. It's not. Which, like, granted, jazz is like very undefined as a dance style. Like, how would you, if I asked you define jazz dance, what would you say?
Oh, I don't know. Girl, I'm gonna point you. Look at me.
Right. But like, see, like you can define ballet, and then you have like, within ballet you have different definitions of like neoclassical ballet, which is like Balanchine, and then you have contemporary ballet, which we're seeing a lot more of. And then you
When
have
I
like,
think of jazz, I think my brain automatically goes back to like very classical, like theater jazz is always what I
right,
see as because that's what I've grown up knowing as jazz.
right.
But
But
I mean, I
then
know there are obviously different categories within jazz, but
right. I took a jazz class once and the teacher was like, this is just, classic barefoot jazz. And then I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense. Barefoot jazz, my classic barefoot jazz is me doing step all changes across the floor and pivot turns when I'm 10, and I wasn't allowed to wear jazz shoes because I had to build calluses on my feet. Like that's what like we we used to try and wear the foot undies. Do you remember
Yeah,
those?
yeah, I
You
remember
remember
those.
the foot undies? Ew, ew, how
You
gross.
remember the one. Wait, did you ever have the ones that was like it was the foot undie, but then on the toe part it had like a little like bedazzled
I had the
section?
leopard print ones. They were like
Oh,
brown and had like le
oh,
I had foot undies. I never had those lyrical toe shoes.
that's very mob wife of you.
Thank you. Um, did you ever have those like lyrical like toe covers with the heel strap on the
The
back?
little heel strap. That's what
Yeah.
the kids teach at a competition school now, and that's what the kids still wear. Like that's what they have to wear. Are those little things?
Never at my dance studio. We like tried getting away with foot undies and then no. And then it just
I
ended up being barefoot or ballet shoes, which was funny.
I choreographed a lyrical solo this year, and I wanted her so badly, and just a little slip dress and nude socks. I wanted nude socks.
Hmm. Oh,
She
socks are a
still
big thing now with comp. I don't get it.
wear. She still had to wear the
Like
little thing.
I get the socks, but I also don't. I get it, but you're cheating. Sorry. Because I'll see
I
people
think
doing like 8 turns, and then I'm like, yeah, of course you can do 8 turns in a sock. Like I can do 5 turns in
well,
a, but I wasn't allowed to.
I prefer like watching lyrical pieces, contemporary pieces barefoot, but
Hmm.
I I don't know. I like a sock, barefoot or a
I say
sock.
that too, and meanwhile I'm constantly in a sock. I'm like, if my feet don't need to be ripped up, yeah.
Yeah,
But they're all barefoot on the stage.
doing those turns at all. Period. I
Yeah,
couldn't do it. I could never.
no.
But barefoot,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not.
Which makes me wonder, like, what is the quality of the Marley? But that's just me as a like because sometimes you go on stage and you're like, oh God, this Marley sucks. Like, oh God, it's an ice rink. Or like, oh God, I'm sticking everywhere. But what were we talking about? The
We were
UD.
going back to the categories of jazz, is what we were discussing,
Oh, we
and
were.
how we don't know well, is there a definition to what jazz is? Because
Right,
yeah,
right. But uh, I could talk about that for hours. And I have before, but we're not gonna to not, you know, to leave it on a note of like jazz is very much undefined. I don't think Ohio State's was jazz. I don't think that at all. I think it was contemporary. I think it was lyrical. I think Minnesota's had more elements of that like kind of commercial jazz type.
it's a little sharper at times.
Yeah. But I think it's also like it's a lot easier to do that with that song. Like I don't think of jazz when I think of My Way Frank Sinatra, you know.
Yeah,
LSU's though, I think I'd be like, yeah, I buy it. That's competition. That's like that competition commercial jazz.
yeah.
Um, but yeah. Okay. The reason why I said earlier that I was so mad watching My Way because it is choreographed by none other than Travis Wall. Which, if you, for those of you that don't know Travis Wall, which is basically just my mom who's gonna watch this, like my like my dad. Travis Wall was a choreographer. You've seen his stuff on So You Think You Can Dance. He's gotten like Emmys for it, whatnot. Um, he was a he was a part of Break the Floor Productions, which his mom like helped. I think she helped like create Nuvo or something, which is one of those competition weekends things. So yeah, big name in choreography. It came out I think maybe last year or definitely kind of in the recent year or years. Um, where's the screenshot that I have?
I think you sent it to me. It said 2021.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. So a bunch of stuff came out about Travis Wall. This is what I found on the internet, and the internet never lies. So, okay, Travis Wall has had 6 students come forward about sexual abuse, asking underage dancers for nude photos, attempting to groom a teenager into a sexual relationship, and giving hard drugs to a student. So not good. Not a good look.
No,
Can't say it's uncommon in the dance world. We'll get to that. It's not a good look for him, obviously. I think it's an even worse look. I don't blame the dancers of Ohio State. Unless it comes out later that it's like they begged for Travis Wall to choreograph that routine. I'm a dancer. I've been, in group routines where there's been decisions made where it's like, well, we can't come forward and say anything because then we're gonna get like, the fear of getting like kicked off the team type of thing. I've in saying that I haven't been in a situation where it's been like anything in regards to Travis Wall or the former dancers that he's danced with where it's like anything sexual. I've been, I guess, lucky in that sense. But like there is still very much a fear of authority that dancers have, and I think especially dancers, you know,
Mhm.
so I don't blame the dancers. The people in charge who thought it was a good idea. You're you're Ohio State. Okay, your dance team has been one of the top two teams to win the nationals 8 years now. You're going back and forth with Minnesota constantly. And you thought it was a good idea? You thought word wouldn't get out that Travis Wall choreographed it based on everything? Like, even if you had him booked for like 4 years ago before the stuff came out, do do a favor to yourself, do a favor to your dancers. Don't hire him. That's a bad look.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your thoughts on the whole hiring a choreographer that you know? Because I don't think
I
it's
think it
a
was
good idea.
I think it was a bad decision. I think whether the allegations, I'm not sure if we found out if these allegations are true or false. I don't know,
Well, I
but
don't know, but they removed him from Break the Floor production, so he no
I wouldn't
longer.
have I wouldn't have hired him. I wouldn't have brought him anywhere near the organization
No,
personally.
no. And it's like, and it's also one of those pieces, knowing his choreography, it's him everywhere. It totally has his like, which I think why it is so emotional, you know. He's he is talented,
Yeah.
but he's not a good role model. He's not anything that these. And not only that, there's other choreographers. There are other choreographers out there.
Plenty.
You do not need to keep using Travis Wall because there are other talented choreographers who probably could have done something very similar to the outcome you got. And if they're doing it just to grab the win, then that intention is even like even worse than just doing it for the name and having Travis Wall as a name come in, you know?
Because that's not a name that you want
No.
associated with school.
God, no. I mean, if I was running a program like that and we had someone like Travis Wall being like, "Hey, I'd love to choreograph on your dancers," even if that is what happened, I'd be like, "I'm so sorry, but like we can't." It's not a situation where I'd be like, "Yeah, just come in, we'll keep it all hush hush."
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Right. I don't know, but I've also like maybe it is still that like fear of authority thing that I talked about earlier. I did know like that I don't remember the teacher's name, but I remember he like taught at the summer intensive and then like word started getting out about like a rumor of him like talk like going into the office with like a young girl or whatever, or I don't know if it was plural. I was young. I was probably like 11 or 12. I didn't ever have him as a teacher. I wasn't good enough. LOL. I wasn't in a high enough level to him. Kind of glad I didn't. But then he never came back after that, you know? But then like
Yeah.
no one ever talked about it enough in detail where like I could talk about it in detail because I obviously can't because I don't know. I don't even remember the teacher's name. But like at least good on my home studio for not inviting him back, even
Yeah.
if that rumor turned out to be false, and I don't know. So it's like it's it puts you in such a weird gray area, or me, I guess, because I love this dance and I love the use of the tie and I love the jacket being thrown on the ground. But
It's you can't. Well, okay, it's a good piece. You can't deny that he's
I don't
talented.
want to back it.
You can back the dancers
Right.
without backing his poor behavior.
That's
You can
true.
enjoy the
That's
piece
true.
without backing
It is. It's separating the two.
wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going online and saying, "Oh my gosh, I love Travis Wall." You're saying
Right.
this was a beautiful piece. It is a beautiful piece. There's no denying
Right. And
that.
I think a lot of the credit goes to the dancers, obviously. You know, I've watched they've every angle posted on TikTok. They have close-up angles and whatnot, and a lot of it has to do with their performance. It's just how do you it be but because I guess because like I've been on the side of the choreographer, you know what I mean? Like how do you separate the
You'd be yawning on
performance from the choreographer because they're so intertwined,
you.
I think.
I think to me, it's like there's nothing that we can do to change it. So I don't think. I mean, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to put this nicely. We're not in any way a part of the decision making at Ohio State, so we
Right.
can't be. There's nothing we can do about it. But I don't
Right.
think that I don't think that we have to. You can dislike someone's behavior without disliking the piece.
Right. Right. But it's also we're living in a day and age where things get so taken, twirled around, like dipped in
Yep.
chocolate, like thrown back out there onto
Yeah.
social media where it's like it's that's not the original point because I think you're correct in saying that you can appreciate the work being done, which I'm finding a lot. Like you go to the comment sections, you're like, it's great, dot dot dot, but it's Travis Wall.
Yeah.
You know, it is very much that thing. Like it's great, but you have to acknowledge the fact of like what the what the choreographer did.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting because now I'm also seeing comments that like it's not Travis Wall, it's Shannon Mather. What Shannon Mather did their palm routine.
Uh-huh.
So like I also wouldn't be shocked too because I know that like you know how it is, how like whatever if someone choreographed something and then someone else rehearsed it, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But I think the main reason I bring it up is like because I think I feel bad for the Ohio State girls.
Because now that beautiful piece that they just did and all of the work that they put in is always
It's
going to have.
getting this ending of but it's Travis Wall,
Yeah.
you know, which you really can't escape that. You you can't. There's kind of no way around it, especially now that everything is out on social media. So then it goes back to the original point of like why bring him in? Why would you I get it if you're doing it for the win and I get it because he's talented, but then like this poor routine is never gonna, you know, leave the restraints of but it's Travis Wall,
Yeah.
which sucks. Which sucks because damn, those dancers killed it. Yeah. Don't you just love artists? Don't you love
World.
don't you love this crazy world we're living in? Oh my God. Yeah. But wow. What a cool little weekend. I wish that they make a Netflix show like this, like they did with Cheer, which, you know, obviously we're not getting another season of Cheer. I'm surprised we even got a second season at all. But I don't need to get into that drama. That's already that's already out there. That's already talked about.
Yes, that would be really cool. This was a cool week. This was like a busy weekend for a lot of things. This was crazy.
Right.
We have the Super Bowl of the dance world,
Did you
Miss
see?
America
I think you
weekend.
sent it to me with the two sisters.
The sisters. There's a sister on, I think their names are like Olivia and Ellie. There's a sister on Ohio State's dance team and a sister on Minnesota's dance team. And they posted a TikTok with their parents. Their parents have t shirts made that have both of the names of both the schools. And they're
Yeah.
like, we're the Travis and Jason Kelsey of the dance world. And I was like, that's so
Yes.
funny.
Oh my
That's
God.
so funny.
I'm like wondering how that like obvious like I'm glad that they each both got a win, but like I feel like people go into it like wanting the Jazz win. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
I was there, I'd want the Jazz win.
I mean, yeah, it's literally the same as the Super Bowl last year. It's the
Like
same situation.
I can't imagine the tension. Or could you even imagine like once they start rehearsing and then like the sisters are like talking to each other, it's like what song are you dancing to? I'll tell
You
you.
would be so it like it seems like there would be tension from the outside looking in, but imagine if you were at or you were at Minnesota and Sophie was at Ohio State. You would be so happy for her.
Yeah, but it's still oh my God.
You would. You would say like, "Oh, our piece was better," but you would be so happy for her.
Yeah. But there was also times like, oh my God, literally, I think she was like 4. No, she's probably like 5. But like there was a big difference. But like, okay, I was older, right? And she's younger. So me still mad about it. He was like at the desk, like at it was like a window desk type of thing at the dance studio, and she's like on releve because she's little and she's like trying to stick her head up there. And then her teacher comes in and is like, "Oh my gosh, what a beautiful releve." Because my sister had better arches than I did. Okay. She had a banana foot and I had a biscuit. Whatever, I'm taller. So me still in competition. And oh, that burned me. And she had no idea that it even did. But like, granted, yeah, she had better feet than me. And she had better posture. If she kept to dance, she probably would have been a better dancer. And that's why I'm jealous.
Oh my gosh.
But like, I don't know.
I think it would be fun. I think it would be thrilling.
Did you have any siblings that danced or were you the only one?
Yeah, both of my sisters did for a little while.
Right.
Both stopped.
And you never got jealous?
Um, my sisters are so much younger than me, so I feel like it's different. You and Sophie are close in age. I have two sisters, and one of them is 13 years younger, and one of them is 8 years younger. So there was never like
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
not like we were ever in
We're
competition.
very competitive with each other
My
always.
sister and I now that she's a teenager, she's not dancing anymore, but we're competitive in like a life sense now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think there's so much of an age gap that it's like there's not really
That's
anything
true.
to
I guess
be.
it depends on the relationship between the two sisters, but
Yeah. We're very close, but she was I mean, I was we were at a school together dancing and I was the sugar plum fairy and she was the baby mouse. Like it was totally different.
little baby mouse. But
The
yeah,
little baby mouse.
that is crazy though. To be like also what what a like crazy accomplishment for the parents for your two dancers to be on the top two dance teams in
Yeah, that's
the
incredible.
nation.
That's
Wild.
incredible.
Wild. Um, the other thing that's important to note with these dancers, hey, these routines, not easy. These dancers are beasts. They are machines. They are freaks of nature, even. Like, I don't know how to put into words, going back to Miss Minnesota, the strength to do a la Sagan turns into an aerial into more turns. I'm still on it because what?
I know. It's crazy.
Like I know those girls are huffing and puffing. Or maybe that's just me because I'm asthmatic, but oh my God. Also, I think the best takeaway from this UDA weekend, I love, love that it is going famous on TikTok. I love that it's going viral. I think we need more dance in the media. I think in general, but I think it also makes for better dancers because like I would do it when I was younger, when like I would watch So You Think You Can Dance, where or Dance Moms. I taught myself how to do that like chin stand thing where you stand on your chin and then your legs go up from watching
Yeah.
Dance Moms. And then like even like I did a solo, the black and gold one where I look naked,
Yeah.
where I look just literally like legs, just a pair of legs. The like I did a leg lift knee drop and literally my teacher goes, "They did it on So You Think You Can Dance. You can do it." So like I literally think that the dancers that we have like right now that especially the dancers that are coming up are some of like the strongest, most talented dancers ever. It makes me fear for my job, for
Yeah.
my positions. But I think it's kind of incredible to put these crazy things out there like, oh well, here's a video of me doing, Alice Sagan turns into an aerial, into more Alice Sagan turns, like, and then now everyone's gonna try it because they're like, oh, that's awesome. I want to try and do that. So it's like, it's so cool that like this is happening, you know? And I think also with it too, which I hope, which we won't get. I also hope that it like gives more appreciation for dance. We won't get it, but we can hope little by little, little baby steps. Yeah, which is another topic we'll talk about down the line because I have more things to say with other things. But yes, if you haven't, if you watched this entire podcast, good for you.
Congratulations.
You've
You
watched
win.
Pam ramble for so long. If you watch this entire podcast and you haven't seen University of Minnesota's Dream On Dance Routine or Ohio State's My Way Dance Routine, go look it
Go.
up. Go watch it. Go give these dancers the praise and appreciation they deserve and they've worked hard for because they're so talented and so incredible. Yeah. Go watch. Go share. There's different angles on TikTok. If you want a back angle, if you want a side angle, everyone's posting about it. Um, yeah. And then go try some pump turns into an aerial, into more pump turns because
That's what I'm gonna go do right now.
good, good. Me as well. Because I can do that.
I can do it too, duh.
Uh, what? Like it's hard? Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, that about wraps me and my rambling up. Nova, do you have any final words? Any final thoughts?
Honestly, no. This entire thing just left me a little bit speechless. I'm so glad that it is going viral and it's going to be such an inspiration for these younger dancers and even for me.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go work on myself a little bit.
I gotta go throw a jacket around a bit. I gotta go.
Gotta go do a needle with a tie around my foot.
Oh my God. What has he got? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta go watch it again. All right. Well, that sums up its Bar Talk podcast. We'll be back with more episodes with better audio quality.
Yeah, I'll
Mark my
finally have.
words. Yeah, we'll have the time to do it now. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye!